Okay, so today's going to be an interesting day. We have an incredibly packed load of tree limbs and debris stuffed inside of the back of the Texas Pride 14-foot dump trailer. We also have the new Gen Y coupler on the front here. This is a channel style torsion coupler. That's pretty cool. Tongue weight capacity between 1,000 and 1.7 thousand pounds, 18,000 pound maximum weight capacity, which I think we will be okay here. I'm probably guesstimating we're probably around 900-ish pounds worth of capacity. So it's going to be interesting to see how this works. We'll have a camera pointed at it, and it will give you my interpretation of how this feels once we hit the road. And on the back of the F450, we have the Gen Y static hitch. This is the mega hitch, the 32,000 pound rated hitch. And I believe we're going to have a bit of a challenge in terms of overall length once we hook up to the trailer. So let's see what happens. So the challenge that I think we're going to have is going to be more related to the fact that that new torsion coupler sticks off quite a bit from the trailer. And then my Gen Y mega hitch sticks off quite a bit from the back of the truck. So I'm gonna have to see if I need chain extensions in order to get the safety chains, the breakaway cable, and the even my 7-way connector to fit, because that's a lot of additional length now that we have that on there. Something I didn't really think about. So let's see how all of this works together. Okay, we're gonna use the onboard scales to get an estimation of how much this all weighs. Gotta follow their steps or none of this is gonna work. Okay, of course, this is based on me sitting in the vehicle, so once I go back there, once I get out of the truck, you'll see this weight will go down a little bit, but it will give us a good idea of what all of this weighs, including myself. Okay, so it's exactly what I thought. The chains do not reach. I'm gonna have to get some chain extensions as well as an extension for my 7-way and possibly even one for my breakaway, which that one's an easy one to do. But yeah, it's definitely a much longer setup, and that's something you want to keep in mind unless you have chains and things that you can use to extend everything like I do. So we're gonna go ahead and get everything extended, and then we'll hit the road, and we'll place a camera here on the bumper so we can see how that torsion flex actually works while we tow this stuff to the landfill. Again, if you're wondering why we're towing this to the landfill, not burning it, it's because we are in severe drought conditions, stage 3 water restrictions, almost stage 4. We haven't had any decent amount of rain in a long time, and everything is really dry. So this is mainly also to prevent forest fires. So that's one of the big reasons why none of this is going to get burned. Okay, so we have the chains actually swapped out now. These were the chains that were there. I have new, longer, heavier duty chains that are now installed. These pins, it was actually a good idea to do this, and this is probably something you should check on your own trailers, but these pins were really in bad shape. And if these pins broke, that pin would come out and your chains would essentially just fall off. So I used this opportunity to also replace it with better clips and pins, which you can now see under there. So I think we are in good shape. We got plenty of slack now, so I don't think we'll have any issue making turns. The trailer breakaway has plenty of slack, and then the last thing we need to do is a 7-way connector, and I have an extension for that, so we should be in good shape. Okay, so we are connected and set up. I have the breakaway in place. I have my extension cable to the 7-way. I have the extra long chains now in place. We'll do a couple little maneuvers real quick just to make sure we don't catch up on anything. But looks like we're in pretty good shape to go ahead and take off. So we're gonna get a camera mounted and we're gonna hit the road. Okay, so I think we're in pretty good shape. Chains are still very slack, even though we're at a pretty hard angle. And I think we're gonna be good to go. Okay, so we have the truck and the trailer back. We're gonna get disconnected. That was a pretty interesting ride. So I can't honestly tell you that I noticed a huge difference, but it did feel like it took some of the jarringness out of the ride. So it's gonna be interesting to see the camera footage. You'll see it before I do, because I haven't seen it yet, and I got to go back and edit the footage, pull it off the camera. I got a cool camera shot of emptying out the dump trailer, which was kind of nice. You get an opportunity to see how kind of compacted it was. Again, yeah, I had a mattress inside there, so I wasn't able to take it to the pure brush pile, and everything kind of got stacked up on top of it, along with some cardboard and styrofoam and stuff like that. But pretty interesting video. It's going to be really interesting again to see how this Gen Y torsion flex coupler works. I'll put a link in the description of this video if that is something you're interested in. My channel sponsor, eTrailer.com, as well as Gen Y carries it. Guys, if you haven't had a chance, please take a moment, subscribe to the channel, give me a thumbs up, and we'll talk to you again very soon.